All right. Thank you, Kylie, and the rest of the organizers for giving me the opportunity. And welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. So the title for this talk is Zero to Hero in Power Virtual Agents in 40 minutes. I know the session is for 50 minutes, but I will try to squeeze in as much information as possible in 40 minutes so we can leave the last 10 minutes for additional follow-up questions and discussions. So who am I? My name is Prashant G. Bhoyer. I was born and raised in India. I am from Washington D.C. Area, and I came to United States back in 2007 for higher studies. I'm University of Maryland College Park alumni, and as you can see, I run a lot of meetups as well as I organize a few conferences. But most of the conferences I organize are related to the Microsoft 365, SharePoint, AI, or ML. I am recipient of Antarctic Service Medal, and I have been receiving Microsoft MVP award since 2017. Those of you who are not familiar with Microsoft MVP award, so I don't work for Microsoft. It's just the additional recognition that Microsoft gives out to the folks who does technical contributions in various Microsoft technology stack. And this award is valid for 12 months only. And after that, we have to apply for renewal. And if our contributions are good enough, then Microsoft will extend our award for additional 12 months. So normally we know about our renewal applications on July 1st. So first couple of years, I was in SharePoint slash Office 65 MVP. Starting 2019, I changed my category to AI. And I currently work as Senior Solution Architect at Witham Digital. We are a East Coast based company. We have offices throughout the East Coast. We also have office in California, and we have international office in India. And we used to call Porter Solutions before, and we got merged with him in 2017. And in my current role, I focus on intelligent business process automation, where I use a lot of Microsoft products like Azure, Microsoft Power Automate, the Power Virtual Agents, the Bot Framework, the SharePoints, and other shiny technologies. And I work at Witham's Washington, D.C. Office. So this is the information about our company. We have three MVPs on the staff, and we have done 100 plus cloud deployment. And we have 50 plus consultants dedicated to Microsoft Stack only. And we have been providing Microsoft services from many years. We have been Microsoft Gold partner from 17 years. And these are the various capabilities that we have. So this is going to be a 100 level session. I assume or expect that you haven't played with Power Virtual Agents at all. And this will be, you may have heard about it, but you haven't seen what they are, what are some of the capabilities. So I will be covering the basics of it. Like first, we will start with why we should be creating bots. And then we will be going in deep into what are some of the options are there in Microsoft ecosystem if you have to create bots. Then we'll talk about Power Virtual Agents, how to get started, what's the integration stories there between Power Virtual Agents and Microsoft Flow. Then we will have demos, key takeaways, and Q&A. Even though I mentioned Q&A towards the end, feel free to ask your questions at any time. Regarding questions, you can either unmute yourself or just type the question in the chat window, or you can also try to use that feature called raise hands. I am using two screens right now, so I will be able to monitor the chat window, and plus we have some other folks as well who will be able to assist us if you have any questions. So send your questions our way. All right. So let's talk about the mission statement from Microsoft. Now you may be wondering, okay, why I'm bringing the mission statement from Microsoft here. The reason is if you look at this mission statement, what Microsoft would like to do is they would like to make data science and AI accessible to everyone. And it doesn't matter what your role is or what your skill set are, or whether you are simply a user or you are a developer or a business analyst or a power user. They want to make sure you can use data and AI to create intelligent applications. And Power Virtual Agent is actually a product of this mission statement. If you will see, you can use a really intelligent bot. You can create a really intelligent bot without writing a single line of code. So why bots? Why should we bother creating bots, especially in our enterprises or in our offices? Because bots give you a more natural and human computer interaction. And one of the key factors of using bots, especially for help desk, is they help you to automate the repetitive task and in turn help you to free up your help desk resources. Like if you ask any help desk division, they will tell you like half of their time normally spent on the tickets or issues which are very, very simple, and they could automate that. So if you can automate those 50% of the tickets where a bot is there to help your help desk professionals out, and bot is taking responsibility of that, then you are giving your help desk professional more time to solve or focus on complicated tasks. And trust me, uh, the state of AI we are right now, the bots, how sophisticated bots may be, they will not be able to take care of each and every help desk ticket. So we'll definitely need human help desk individuals there. So I saw, like I read some study from some of the government agencies and financial institutions where they are using bots as a first line of defense for the help desk. And what we have found is bots are actually helping them, their actual human agents or customer service agents, to focus on more complicated tasks. So the average wait time for the customer is decreased, and also the overall the number of tickets that are getting solved are also increased. And they don't have to reduce the task force in the help desk. That's one of the concern you may face from your IT division. Like if you're talking about using bots for the help desk, like okay, if bots gonna do all our work, then what will happen to the actual human customer service agents? So the answer to that is they will be still solving the tickets. However, the nature of the tickets will be a little bit complicated, and there will be no immediate threat to their jobs or their responsibilities at all. Bots will be available all the time. Like if you are using bots for the help desk, they can be available all the time. And another key advantage is they will be available where you are. That depending on which particular channels or devices you have selected to deploy your bots to, you can access the bots from anywhere you are. And also, if the implementation is done right, the bots will be adapt to the user depending on the circumstances. One of the example I would like to give you here is if you are using a bot for customer service request, and by the interaction of the customer, the bot can sense that customer is getting irritated or he's angry, then bot can take a decision to automatically transfer that request to a human agent, so that can be handled more appropriately. Also, bots are very new. If you compare bots with traditional mobile apps or the desktop apps, they are pretty new. They are more appealing, and also if you have done implementation right, they come really natural as well. And another thing is, since bots are new, and if you have done your user experience right, it simplifies a lot of your user experience. One of the key advantage of going with Microsoft Stack when it comes to developing bots is it supports multiple channels. Now, don't get confused with channels that are listed here with the channels we get with the teams. So channels in the context of the bots is various devices. That means or various products where we can use the bots. So if you go with Microsoft ecosystem and if you create a bot, then we can deploy that bot not only to a public facing website, but to Microsoft Teams, to Slack, to Facebook as a direct line. And there are some other connectors available as well. And also, it has been found by various studies that if you have a combination of bots plus actual human agents, you may find that the younger users will prefer to talk with bot more as compared to the actual human agent. And we are already familiar with bots in our personal life. If you are a customer of a big financial institution like Citibank or Bank of America, and if you dial their customer service number, the chances are the first line of defense from these financial institutions is from the bots, where a voice-based bot will ask you a question, and depending on your answer, it may give you the information right away, or it may transfer the call to the actual human agent. And another thing is, we as a human are getting very, very comfortable using the voice-based bots. Like if you look at the stats from the Amazon or the Googles, they are selling millions and millions of voice-based bots like Alexa or Google Home. And what we have seen, or the shift we have seen in the industry, is if something that gets popular in your personal life, slowly, sooner or later, you will find those kind of devices getting used in the enterprises as well. One of the good example is the iPhone. When iPhone 1 was launched in 2007, very few enterprises were using smartphones or mobile devices for work. Fast forward 13 years, like if you join a new company, they pretty much expect that you will having a smartphone and you will be get at least some kind of work done using your smartphone. So same kind of revolution will happen sooner or later, where if more and more people get comfortable using the likes of Alexa's, the Google Home, then sooner or later you will see those kind of devices will be sitting on your desk at work, and you as a developer or you as a power user or you as an IT pro then should know how to use those devices to get your work done. And all those devices are nothing but a voice based bots. So if you're convinced that okay, now you need to learn you need to learn about creating the bots, and what now let's find out what are the options available to us today when it comes to creating bots in Microsoft ecosystem. So we have two options right now. One is the software as a service, and second is platform as a service. Under software as a service, we have Power Virtual Agents, where we'll be focusing most of our time today. And it basically gives you a no-code experience for bot development. And it's ideal for the business users, the domain experts to easily build a bot. You can start creating bots for free using Power Virtual Agent by just going to this link and signing for the free trial. Other option that we have, which comes under platform as a service, where we have a Microsoft Bot Framework. It's an open source SDK and tools, and it's built for the purpose of bot development. And the ideal or the target audience for the bot framework is the developers. You need to have a developer background to create bots using Microsoft Bot Framework. And you can find more information about Bot Framework by going to this link. And those of you who don't know the clear-cut difference between software as a service or platform as a service is, so software as a service is something that you sign up, and the vendor which is hosting that service will take care of everything for you in terms of hosting, adding periodic updates, security updates, as long as you are paying the licensing or subscription fees. Office 365 is a software as a service offering where if you are using Office 365 for your email, then Microsoft takes care of everything for you in terms of the hosting and making sure your emails are secure. And also, as a user, we have very limited options when it comes to the customization of your inbox or customization of your email rules. Under platform as a service, another product I can mention here is SQL on Azure, where you will be hosting your SQL on Azure, but you will not have any control over where exactly the SQL will be hosted, but you will have control over what kind of tables you will be building, what kind of schemas you will be building, and what kind of information will go inside those tables. So that's a quick differentiation between software as a service and platform as a service. But the key point here is if you are a power user or a business analyst or IT pro, and if you would like to create a bot, a sophisticated enterprise grade bot very quickly, you can start with Power Virtual Agents. And while I'm doing the talk, if you are in front of a computer where you can have two screens, just go to this link and sign up for the free trial and start creating other bots. There is another product which is available where the target audience is developers. It's called Microsoft Bot Framework Composer. It is again an open source tool, and it is more as a helping tool for the Microsoft Bot Framework, where using it gives you a visual authoring canvas to build the bot experience. And you can find more information about the Microsoft Bot Composer by going to this link here. So when it comes to the bots in Microsoft ecosystem, the Power Virtual Agents are actually built using Microsoft Bot Framework. However, we as a user or we as a developer, we don't have to worry about what goes behind the scene. And there is a really good integration story available between Power Virtual Agents and and the custom bots created using Microsoft Bot Framework, where you can deploy the custom bots created using Microsoft Bot Framework as a bot framework skills, and then you can call those bots from the Power Virtual Agents. So using the combination of these two products, you can have really sophisticated the enterprise grade the bots where some of the bots are written using Power Virtual Agents where you'll have a domain experts or the business users created the bot experience. And then for more complicated tasks, you have created custom bots using Microsoft Bot Framework. And there is a really good integration story available via bot framework skills. In terms of the target audience, as I mentioned before, Power Virtual Agents are for business users. However, developers can also use that, and Microsoft Bot Framework is strictly for developers. So why Microsoft has to launch something like a Power Virtual Agent? So Microsoft announced about Power Virtual Agents back in November last year during the Ignite, because Bot Framework is there from quite a time. I think that Bot Framework is at least 4 years old. And what Microsoft found is if I had to create a bot using Microsoft Bot Framework, there is a steep learning curve, and it's hard to create a good bot, and it's also equally expensive to maintain a good bot. And there is always a friction between the subject matter experts and the developers. And also, if bots implementation isn't right and you are not providing the personalized information or answers, then you are not giving a good user experience to the users. So with all these challenges, what Power Platform team did is they created a new offering called Power Virtual Agents, where they are democratizing the AI. And again, I will tie this back to the original mission statement I mentioned in the beginning of the talk, where no matter what your role is, you can create intelligent bots using Power Virtual Agents. And you don't need to be a data scientist. You don't need to understand development. You don't need to understand AI as well. All these things Microsoft has taken care of for you in the backend. And also, the Power Virtual Agent continuously improve as well. Like it will remember the the answers that the customer has provided, and depending on those previous answers, it will take the actions more intelligently. So as I mentioned, Power Virtual Agent is the newest member of the Power Platform family. The reason I have this slide here is since it's a member of Power Platform family, you will see a tighter integration between the Power Virtual Agents and other Power Platform products. Like whatever the analytics we get in the Power Virtual Agents in the form of Power BI dashboards. And there is a really good integration story available between Power Automate and Power Virtual Agents. So this is the high level overview where under the hood, it uses the Microsoft Bot Framework. Your gateway to the outside world from Power Virtual Agents is through Microsoft Flow. And as we all aware of that Microsoft Flow Microsoft Flow has a lot of connectors that you can integrate with not only with the Microsoft products, but other ISVs as well, like the Adobe's, the AWS, the Google's, the Salesforce, and Microsoft and the bots created using Power Virtual Agents will be hosted on Azure Bot Service, but you as a user don't have to worry about that. And under the hood, it will be using Microsoft AI services, which are all Azure Cognitive Services. Again, to use Power Virtual Agents and create intelligent bots, you don't have to worry about all this stuff. Microsoft has already taken care of everything for you. So what we need is you just need a browser to start creating the bots. So once you sign up for the Power Virtual Agents, you will get to a browser screen where you will start creating the bots, and in the browser screen itself, you will be creating your bot experience, and in the same in the same browser's window, you can also test your bots as well. If you don't know where to start, there are some quick starters available as well. If you have used one of the cognitive services from Microsoft called Q&A Maker, that service allows you to quickly create a bot or a knowledge base from an existing question answers that you may have in the form of a public facing website or Excel document or a Word document. Similar concept available here, where if you have a public facing website and you want to quickly use that as part of your help desk bot, you have to just mention the URL of that website. As long as that website is publicly available, especially from Microsoft's data centers, then Power Virtual Agents will be able to quickly extract the content from the website and provide you with the list of possible the topics for so that you can get started. Uh, Once you create a bot using Power Virtual Agent, you can deploy that to anywhere. Like we automatically get a demo website. We can test the bot. We can deploy that to a custom website. We can deploy that to a mobile app, to the Facebook, to the Microsoft Teams, Skype, Cortana, Slack, Telegram, Twilio, Line, and Kick. However, if you compare the list of channels or devices with Microsoft Bot Framework, the Microsoft Bot Framework has more channels available. However, since this product is fairly new, like it's almost like uh, 10 months old, you will see more and more channels will get added to this one. There is inbuilt analytics available with the Power Virtual Agents, where you can find out how the users are interacting with the bot, how many sessions are there, where the users are happy or not, because this comes really, really handy when it comes to improving your bots for better results. And this report will be available to you as part of the Power BI dashboard, and you don't have to do anything to configure that. This will come out of the box for you. So with that, let me know if you have any questions before we straight away jump into to the demo section.
We haven't seen any questions in the chat yet.
Okay.
So you're probably good to jump in. We're just all excited to see it.
All right. So as I mentioned, if this is the first time you're playing with the Power Virtual Agent, just use your favorite browser and favorite search engine and just Google or and just search for Microsoft Power Virtual Agents. And the link that you're looking for is this one, where if you click on this link, you will see the option here is sign in and try free. If you don't have, if you haven't like sign up for this, just click on the try free here, and you can just get started with that. Since I have already signed up for the free trial, I will be using the other options. And one thing I will be mentioning about free trial is Power Platform team is very generous when it comes to the free trials. As long as you are not using those trials for the production, you can extend that for quite a few times. But however, keep in mind that you should not be using this trial for production use because Microsoft can keep tracks of like what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it's a software as a service. You have very limited control when it comes to where it's hosting and what are the things that we'll be doing. So once you log in here, let me walk you through the left-hand navigation. Before I log into the left-hand navigation, if this is the first time you are here, the icon you're looking for at the top is this one. So little bot icon at the top. It's very easy to miss that, but that's the icon you're looking for. So click on that. And here you'll be seeing all the bots that you have created so far. And here you can segregate, you can list the bots depending on the various environments. If this is the first time, if you don't have any bot created, just click on a new bot. And then give it a nice name that you can refer back to. Again, just like the best practices we follow in Power Automate, where you use a proper naming convention so that we can remember why we created that flow and what was the reason for it. Same thing you should be doing here, like use a proper naming convention here. So I'll be using as CRMUG DC chapter bot 01. Then you can select the language. So as you can see, close to more than 10 major languages are supported right now, and there are some languages available in preview as well. And so I will go with the English, but if you are from any other country where English is not the first language, you can select that as well. And the next thing is, which is very, very important, and a lot of people actually miss that, since we have international audience here, and if you have any requirements specifically related to GDPR or related to the data privacy, you should be selecting a proper environment. Now, the concept of environment here is the same as the environments we get in Power Automate or Power Apps, where you can have a different policies depending on where exactly you're creating the environments. And I don't know the exact list, but we can create environments targeted to the US region, to the Europe region, to the Asia, and you can apply some other advanced uh, what's the right governance policies for the environment. So here I will be going with the default one, which is present in the United States, and then click create. Once you click create, depending on your luck and depending on your network connection, the Power Virtual Agent UI will take anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes for the bots to get created. Because remember, when you are creating the bot, Microsoft is provisioning a lot of assets in the backend. That's why you see initial provisioning time like in the matter of 10 to 15 minutes. And sometime it may take 30 minutes as well. So we will not be spending time in that. I have already created a bot that will be quickly going through. So the bot I will be using is first PV or bot. So let's assume that you have created the bot. Now let me walk you through the options that you get. So the first thing that you'll be seeing is on this page is you will be seeing a lot of videos. If this is the first time that you're playing with Power Virtual Agents, I definitely recommend you to watch the videos, since the nature of the product is such that everything is drag and drop and everything is based on configuration. You will have more success when it comes to learning and following the steps if you watch the videos as compared to following the blog post. And then there is a community available as well. I definitely recommend you to join the Power Virtual Agents community, just like the communities for other Power Platform products. It is actively managed by the Microsoft staff and other community members, and they can answer the question for you. And if you have any thoughts or suggestion, you can click on the idea forum. The One of the most important aspects of the Power Virtual Agents is the topic. So I will be clicking on topics in the left-hand navigation. And when you create a Power Virtual Agent, it comes with pre-built topic where a topic is will have some key phrases. And while interacting with the Power Virtual Agent, if the user mention any one of this key topics, then this particular topic will get triggered. So for example, I have this topic called bots in Microsoft ecosystem, just like a best practices with other Power Platform product. Make sure you provide a good description here, so you remember what exactly this topic is for. And then here you provide the trigger phrases. Microsoft recommends that you at least start with 5 to 10 diverse phrases, and you can add many more trigger phrases. So here the bot I'm trying to build here is I want to build a bot. The bot will basically give the user answers about what are the options available when it comes to creating the bots in Microsoft ecosystem. And the reason I selected this particular example over going with a very complicated one is first is the time limitation, and second one is just to showcase you how easy it is to have something really meaningful created within a few minutes. Like it took me, after the bot got created, it took me like close to 15 to 20 minutes to have this a bot ready. So here I have the trigger phrases like the virtual agents, the PBR, the bots, the voice bots, the chat bots. So if the user mentions any one of these trigger phrases, then this particular topic will get triggered. And by clicking on this button, go to authoring canvas, I can then design my user experience. Like, okay, if this topic gets triggered, then what will be the follow-up questions the bot will ask, and depending on the answers for those follow-up questions, what kind of steps the bot will take. So let me walk you through that. So for that, let's scroll to the right. And so these are the trigger phrases, and you can customize this message. Like if the user mention any of this trigger phrases, then what shall be the message that bot will be displaying, and then what will be the follow-up step that bot will be taking. And what I'm doing here is I'm asking a follow-up question to the user, and the question is, I see that you're interested knowing more about bots, and Microsoft has great offering. And then I'm giving them the option, option are whether the user would like to know more about the Power Virtual Agents, the Q&A Maker, the Composer, or the Microsoft Bot Framework. And if you see here, I'm asking the question, and when it comes to providing the answers, just like in Microsoft Forms, we can select the predefined format. So the user can provide you the answer in the form of multi-choice options. It can be a plain text box where the user provide the answer, or there are some pre-built entities available as well, like the age, the boolean, the city, the color, the continent, country or region, date and time, duration, email, event, language, money, number. So the list is long, and Microsoft is working hard to add some additional options here as well. And if you are at this page, and if you don't know if you don't see what you're looking for, you can also use the search functionality here. For example, if I'm looking for email, I can just type something, and then that should appear. So for this question, I have used the multi-choice option. And and also whatever the response the user will select, the bot will be storing that in a variable. And just like the best practices you do in any kind of development paradigm where you provide a meaningful name to your variables, same things you should do. So you can know what the variable is, and you can watch the value of this variable. Now, depending on the answer, uh, there are like 4 branches where the bot will redirect the users to. Like if the user selects the Power Virtual Agent, then the next thing I will be doing is showing the following message. And after that, I'll be showing asking a follow-up question like, okay, can you give me your email address so I can send you a follow-up information via email? And once that is done, like once the user provides the email, then here I am calling a Microsoft Flow. And while calling the Microsoft Flow, I am actually passing the email address which the user is providing. And what this Microsoft Flow will be doing is it will be sending an email to the user. So the use case is very simple, but imagine but this will give you some kind of idea in terms of what can be done. So here, I know Power Virtual Agents is built for the power users and the business analysts. But what if you would like to call a custom web service, or what if you would like to call a custom code from the bot? And that custom code will then give you some information back, and then you would like to use that for further conversation or further decisions. So here, your gateway for outside world from the Power Virtual Agent is Microsoft Flow, where you call a flow, and while calling the flow, you can pass some parameters which are optional. Then the flow will do certain things, and then it will either give you a response back, or it will just go to the next step.
Prashant.
Go ahead.
So at the moment, this just looks like a flow, right? So the only difference between flow and virtual agent is that you're talking to the bot.
Correct. That's a really good interpretation of this. Like, if you ask me, Power Virtual Agent falls into the same category in where other products are, where using the visual designer, you can design what should happen depending on the user's input. Flow is a good candidate. If you are from the SharePoint world, then SharePoint Designer is a good candidate, which falls under the same category. However, the user response and the user interaction will be in the form of a bot, which in Flow, everything happens in the backend. And then once the email is sent, then it's up to me whether I would like to end the conversation or do a follow-up operation. And to do that, just click on the add note here, which may not be visible here, but if I hover on this one, and when I click on this, I have this option whether I want to ask a question, add a condition, call an action, or show a message. When it comes to call an action, I can either call a flow, or I can also transfer the control to an actual human agent. So what I will be doing now is, let me show you how to test this right away. So we have built this particular topic here. Now let's test this right away in this designer itself. So I'll be asking a random question. Hello. And whatever the response that's coming back is actually predefined, and you can customize this response according to your need. And what I'll be doing next is I'll be mentioning typing a statement which will have something related with the bot. So if that statement will have any of these trigger phrases, then this particular topic will get triggered. So what I'll be doing is I am interested knowing more about the bots. And if since the bot is one of the trigger phrases, this particular topic got triggered, and whatever the user experience we have designed here, now that the same kind of user experience is now the bot is displaying to the users. First thing is we have this message, hi there, and then we are asking a question like, I see that you are interested in knowing more about the bots, and these are the options I have. And while I'm testing this, if you see here, I can either zoom in, zoom out. I can also watch for the variables. So this comes really handy. Whenever a user, let's say, and give an answer, then the corresponding values will get stored in the variable that we have mentioned here. So what I'll be doing in this case is I will be clicking on the Power Virtual Agent. And you can see here, since we have more than 3 options and those are not possible to display in the small window we have for the bots, we are getting a nice scroll bar here as well. So let me click on the Power Virtual Agent, and then it will follow this particular branch for the Power Virtual Agent. And if you see here in the variable watch, we are also saying, OK, user has selected the Power Virtual Agent, and that's the current value. And depending on that value in the condition, we are going forward. Like if user selects the Power Virtual Agent, then follow this kind of steps here, where not only we are showing some information, and that information is in the form, there is a hyperlink here. So if I click on the hyperlink, a new window is opening. So you can have a really good, you can provide a good information, really good information to the users. You can provide the information in the form of hyperlinks. If they click on this, those hyperlinks will be open in the new tab. And then I'm also asking the question is to the user is, OK, if you would like to know, if you would like to have this information handy in the form of email, please provide me your email. So what I'll be doing here is, so the main goal of writing a bot is mimic the conversation that typically humans will have. And when it comes to humans, if I have to ask a question to my friend, let's say if I had to ask a question to Aiden, like how he is, I can ask that question in multiple ways. Like I can ask, hey Aiden, how are you? Or yo, what's up? Or depending on the comfort level, I can just like bro, or so there are multiple lingos or multiple things I can use. So same kind of philosophy here also goes, where you as a user can provide that information in various format. So here they ask me the email address, and I'm not going to type the email address as it is. I will be typing the email just like I can do in my regular conversation. Like my email address is this one. And if anyone from the users would like to provide their email address, that's fine as well, because I will be sending you the links for the Power Virtual Agent. So anyone want to volunteer that so we can confirm that email got sent, just type your email address in the chat window and we'll use that. And I will wait for next 5 seconds. If I don't see a response, I will just go with my email address. All right, looks like there is a message. And there is Aiden's email. So let me use that. Thank you, Adam. And if I click send, so here the Power Virtual Agent will be intelligent enough to capture the actual email address and then send that to the flow. And the flow got called, and while calling this flow, the Power Virtual Agent actually captured the email address. It stored that in the variable, and if you see the variable here, it's actually the email address. So it skipped the other part, which is my email address is. And then the flow got called. And Aiden, can you confirm that you got an email? You should have received an email in.
Yep, I did. Just popped in.
Perfect. So, and then the response came back, and then I can go along with my bot experience, where I can then either ask the bot some question, like user some questions, or show them the follow-up information. And if I say, OK, did that answer your question? If I click yes, perfect. So Adam also posted the screenshot. So if I click yes, then the next thing is at the end of conversation, and this is the typical user experience with the end of conversation where you will be asked to rate the experience. If I'm happy with that, then I'll rate excellent, and then whether you need additional help. Now, since I just showed you the example with only one topic, however, you can configure various topics here, and depending on what's the purpose you're using this, there are really good examples available from Microsoft when it comes to using bots or Power Virtual Agents for your customer service, especially if you are using Dynamics, because there is a really good integration story available where if you are using a Dynamics omni-channel, I think you can pass the control from your Power Virtual Agents to the actual other virtual agents. Since we don't have much of time, I will be walking you through a couple of things real quick. So as I mentioned before, everything that the user will do will get logged and will be presented to you as part of the analytics, where everything is generated as part of the Power BI report, and you can download these reports and then play with that later, or you can just use this user interface to find out the information that you need. You can see the information about the customer satisfaction, the stations, the billing. And let's say once you are happy with your bot and you want to deploy that, you just click on the publish button, and that's it. You just have to click the button and your bot will be published, and then you will be ready and it will be ready to use in various channels or various devices. So if I click on the channels, you will always every bot or every Power Virtual Agent will always have a demo website. And if you click on that, you will get this URL. And what Microsoft recommend is, let's say if I'm developing a Power Virtual Agent and I want to quickly have my teammates to quickly test it out. So instead of deploying that to various channels, you can quickly share this link and your teammates can then test the bot out and see whether any tweaks are needed before you actually start publishing that to your public facing website or to the teams or to other various channels that are here. Another thing is authentication. When it comes to authentication, you can add authentication from various authentication provider. Of course, Azure Active Directory is recommended, but if you are a Google shop or AWS shop, or if you are using a custom authentication provider, you can also use that to integrate with that your bot. And when it comes to integrating your bot, which are custom bot built using Microsoft Bot Framework, you can integrate those using with the Power Virtual Agent by going to the link called the skills. Let's see what else I wanted to show you in terms of okay. In terms of this one, we talked about it. So yeah, when it comes to transferring the control to human agent, we can do the handoff to the Dynamics 365 omni-channel for customer service. So I'm not a Dynamics person. I haven't personally played with that, but there is also support available if you are using any proprietary service or third-party service. You can also do a handoff to that service as well. However, you will need to do some additional configuration steps for that. This is there. We already talked about the authentication provider. So this is a key. Like if you want to have a really good conversation with your team, where if there are any concerns, okay, this is a SaaS offering. That means it will have some limited things that we want to do, but we need a much more from a bot. Then you can do that much more via Power Automate, where if you need to call a custom web service or if you want to execute a custom code, from your Power Virtual Agent, you call a Power Automate, and that Power Automate then will do that task for you. And for a lot of this task, you need a premium license of Power Automate. And one of the good thing is all the premium features of Power Automate are already included in the subscription cost for Power Virtual Agent. So if you sign up for Power Virtual Agent, you automatically get the premium version of Power Automate, as long as you are only using those Power Automate from the Power Virtual Agents. We already talked about that. So I know I haven't covered a lot of things, but this should be enough to get you started. definitely check this link out and start playing with Power Virtual Agents. And as I mentioned, within 30 to 60 minutes, you will have a working bot. And I personally have played with Microsoft Bot Framework. So if you compare with creating a working bot with Microsoft Bot Framework as compared to creating a working bot with Power Virtual Agent, you will see here direct results with Power Virtual Agents, whereas with Microsoft Bot Framework, first you need to be a developer and there are a steep learning curve available there, and you need to follow a lot of steps before you actually have a working a bot. Are there any questions before I talk about what are some of the key differences in terms of like, or what are my opinions when it comes to Power Virtual Agents and Microsoft Bot Framework? Any questions, any comments?
Can I ask the licensing question?
Yes.
Okay.
So currently the licensing is such that it's you have to pay, the starting point is $1,000 per month, where you had to at least sign up for $1,000, and with $1,000 you get 1,000 sessions, and those sessions can be from a single bot or those sessions can be multiple bots within a tenant. I know it's a little bit steep to get started with that, and then you have to buy additional sessions. And a session is constitute as an interaction where there are like 100 back and forth between the bot or the user, or that the duration of the session is 60 minutes. So whichever come first, then that will be built as a one session, and you get. Let me pull up that link real quick. Pricing, and I know the pricing, there will be some changes in the pricing, and Microsoft mentioned that they are working on it, but this is what we get right now, where the starting point is $1,000 per month, and then you get 200 sessions. So there is no limitations on how many bots you can create. So it all depends on the consumption. Just like in Azure, they all depends on how much how many user interaction the bot is having with the users.
Thanks.
Any other question before I jump into the last part? So these are my personal thoughts when it comes to comparing the Power Virtual Agents and the bot framework. So both have these use cases, but you should keep this in mind before you decide which one I shall play with, or which one I shall use for the enterprise bots. So it's very easy to create bots and test bots, and pretty much anyone can use Power Virtual Agents to create the bots, whereas Microsoft Bot Framework is for developers and there is a steep learning curve available. The maintenance and enhancements are really straightforward in Power Virtual Agents. Microsoft Bot Framework does not have that. However, there is not a good dev, stage, prod, or application lifecycle management story available right now in Power Virtual Agents. So if you had to create a bot for stage and production or development and production, you have to basically create a two bot and you have to basically mimic the same steps. There is no packaging and something available right now. However, Microsoft is working on that. You don't need to know or understand any of the AI services. Microsoft or Power Virtual Agents will use that under the hood for you. Whereas if you go with Microsoft Bot Framework, you need to know or understand what are the AI services that you need to use, and you have to configure those services. There is inbuilt support for analytics, and there is no inbuilt support for analytics here. You have to add your own support, and one of the most common use tool is App Insights, which is part of Azure here. So Power Virtual Agents are are a lot expensive to begin with, and one of the pain points that I see here is there is no easy way to manage the cost across departments, because everything gets built per tenant. That imagine you are working for a multinational firm where you have 5 to 10 departments, and within those departments, each department has created too many, like at least 2 or 3 bots which they're using for their own department. So there is no easy way to find out what's the cost for his department. And you'll be getting a single cost, which is 2,000 sessions per $1,000 per month. And if you compare that with Microsoft Bot Framework, it's really inexpensive to begin with. First of all, Microsoft Bot Framework is free. You don't need to pay anything for Microsoft to use that. Only thing that you will be need to pay is where to host that bot. And if you are integrating other AI services like the cognitive services, then you have to pay for their subscription. So it's really inexpensive to start with. However, you need to take care of a lot of different stuff. So if you compare, if I had to do a quick POC, and with Power Virtual Agent, you may need just a 1 day. With Microsoft Bot Framework, if you are not familiar, you may need at least a week or 2 weeks, depending on your skills and expertise. However, the upfront pricing is a little bit high here, and Microsoft is aware of that. So if you are interested trying Power Virtual Agents and you want to integrate Power Virtual Agents with Microsoft Flow, I highly recommend you to go to this link and sign up for the Microsoft 365 Developer Program. Because once you sign up, you get your personal Microsoft 365 E5 subscription for free, which is good for 3 months. It comes with 25 users, and it has all the E5 features except the voice calling. And it's really good for personal testing and development because you will be a tenant admin, and you can not only create Power Virtual Agents, but you can also integrate with other Power Platform products as well. You can always sign up for the trials as well when it comes to the Office 365 or Microsoft 365. And if you are interested using Microsoft Bot Framework and you want to deploy that to Azure, or you want to learn about the other AI services like the cognitive services, you need Azure subscription for that. And there are various ways to get Azure subscription for free. The recommended one is the MSDN subscription. If you have an MSDN account, depending on what type of that account is, you may get a fixed credit per month for free without using a credit card. You can also sign up for the free trial, where right now in the United States, you get $200 of credit, which you can use within 12 months. There is another program available from Microsoft called DreamSpark, Microsoft Imagine, which used to call DreamSpark before. You need to have a .edu account from a school which is participating in Microsoft Imagine program. If you have that account, or if someone in your family have that account, then you can get Azure subscription for free without using the credit card. And .edu account is very popular, or also not popular, is very powerful. A lot of big organizations will give you a hefty discount. Like if you are using Amazon Prime, and if you have using a student account, you get 50% discount on yearly membership. I know AWS will give you some free credits, same as the Google Cloud as well. So just if you have a EDU account, or someone in your family have EDU account, just see or just check with various vendors or public cloud vendors and see if you can get any free softwares or credits from them. So hopefully the content we covered today made you excited about the Power Virtual Agents. You will go home and play with it. And if you don't have access to the Power Automate or other Power Platform product, I know the Dynamics is not covered in this one, but definitely except Dynamics, you can definitely get access to other Power Platform products and other Microsoft 365 products by going to this link. So these are the things we covered today. These are the references. So thank you very much for patiently listening to me. I know I went over by 4 minutes. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, feel free to contact me on my email address. I'm also available on LinkedIn. And let me post the link to my LinkedIn profile in the chat window as well. With that, thank you very much for your time, and let me know if you have any questions.